Hello everybody, welcome back to Future Fiber. This is a channel where I talk about all the crafty things that I do. Today I want to talk about a project that is probably a year in the making. I think every summer crochet bags kind of come back into style, at least for the past couple of years it has been like that. I think I was wanting to make a version of this denim crochet bag that I saw. The original bag is a crochet kit that you can buy in Korea, but unfortunately I don't live in Korea, so I don't have access to it, but I'll leave the link down below if you want to check out the original source of the inspiration. Those of you that have watched my channel so far will know that I am kind of into upcycling, so I periodically go to a clothing swap that is hosted by one of my friends. One of the things that actually you can find a lot of at this clothing swap is jeans. So I thought it would be fun to make my own version using some jeans that I got from this clothing swap. So I made sure to wait until the end of the clothing swap to snag a couple of jeans that nobody took. So I'm going to see how much fabric I can get out of cutting up those jeans into basically ribbons, and then I'll use that to make a crochet bag. I'm not going to be using a pattern. I decided to just kind of wing it because I don't know what the gauge of the final yarn that I create using these jeans will be, so I'll just have to kind of play it by ear and trial and error this. Let me show you my plan because I drew out a little vision diagram. So yeah, I've previously used my iPad to create like little doodles of sketches and images like this, just like planning out what I'm going to make, especially when the vision is a little bit unclear and I am being a little bit chaotic. But I've always admired people that do more complicated things using their iPad, like calligraphy and hand lettering. So I recently started taking classes on Skillshare, who is the sponsor of the video today. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives with thousands of classes led by industry experts across film, illustration, design, freelance, productivity, and more. You can use Skillshare to help you take your career, skills, and most importantly, hobbies to the next level. I feel like summertime for me is always this time of creative energy and learning something new. Maybe it's because I've been primed by the years of the American school system where you have 3 months in the summer to pretty much do whatever you want. So this summer I wanted to level up my calligraphy and type design skills because despite me being a designer, I've never really felt that confident in those areas. So I wanted to take some classes on Skillshare this summer to kind of improve myself in those areas. Skillshare also has learning paths, which are sequential classes that are designed to help you master a specific skill. So I've been taking the Procreate for Professionals, Master Illustration Technique, and Hand Lettering Practice 3 Easy Steps to Explore New Typography Styles. The first 500 of you to use the link in the description down below will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So get started today. So I drew up a little vision of what I wanted to make. Basically, the idea is that I want the height of the bag to be 5 inches and the width of the bag to be 8 inches, and the depth I'll kind of adjust as I go. I was also thinking the strap will be also made out of the jean material, and I'll maybe put in a little bit of a loop over there to tie the strap onto so that I could adjust the length of the bag depending on what kind of clothes I'm wearing that day. Like if it's something that's a little bit bulkier, maybe I could adjust the strap to be a little longer. I don't really know what the number of stitches are going to be, so I will update that and include that at the end of the video once I, actually make the bag. But this is like the mood and the vision. So let's talk a little bit about the jeans that I have grabbed. Jean number 1. It's a full-length kind of light wash denim. You can see it's been well loved, and we're going to give it a makeover using some scissors and crochet hook. I'm thinking I'll cut all of these kind of in the same way to maximize the length of unbroken yarn, I guess. So I'm going to take off the pockets on the back and also try and separate this top here so that I can get continuous length of yarn. The idea is that you make kind of this like zigzag kind of shape up and down the length of the fabric. So I'm going to be using just my scissors probably to start from the bottom hem and then work my way up. Or I chose this pair of jeans too because it doesn't have a ton of stretch, and I didn't want the bag to be weighed down by things that I put in there and then kind of like sag. That's another reason why I'm not cutting it like a bias tape, like on the bias. This is a side tangent, but I feel like women's pant sizes are so irregular. This here says 32 by 32. This is way small. This is like half my torso, so I don't know what's wrong with these sizes. Pants number 2 is this Zara shorts. Obviously less fabric to work with here, but they're both kind of like light washes, so I'm hoping it'll blend and then it will look good. And then lastly, 2 legs from a pair of jeans that I turned into shorts. So this is a little bit different. This is obviously darker, so I'm like wondering if I should have this kind of gradient situation going on, or if I should try and like mix it throughout so that it makes kind of like a stripy effect. So I will just, you know, have to see as I go. So the next step is to turn all these into yarn. Like my boneless jeans? Boneless. Deboned. Hello everybody. It's the next day, and yesterday I did a little testing, and the shorts that I got, I cut off one front side of the leg, and then I turned it into yarn and tried crocheting it up, and this is the end result. I think it looks pretty cool. Like the texture and the raw edge kind of frays as you work with it, but I think this could be tricky depending on if you are the type to kind of undo it and then redo it a lot. So if you're me, then I think potentially this could get too frayed and maybe it won't be structurally sound anymore, but I think it adds a nice look in moderation. I made this sample using this. This is the chunkiest crochet hook that I own, and it's 8mm. But I found that working with this was a little tight. I cut the strips. I have to redo this, so basically, also that's another thing, it's really dusty. So if you are sensitive to dust, maybe wear a mask as you work with it. But I cut into these, like, is that 1/2 inch strips? And I used that to kind of work it up. And this hook is a little too small for this. It's making a really tight gauge fabric. And I mean, this is the bag bottom, so that's good. However, it's really hard on my hands. I mean, it's gonna be hard on my hands no matter what, but I just wanted to see if I should get a different size hook. So I went to Michael's and got this. I don't know much about like what's the best crochet hook brand or anything, and I'm only really gonna use this probably once, which makes me feel a little bad, but I've wanted to try Prim before, so I got this, and this is in the 16mm size. I did a little bit of a sample in the store. I took a piece of this with me and then I kind of crocheted it, and then I think I like the resulting fabric a lot more. So the goal for today is, well, now that I know that this works, I'm going to go through and cut up the rest of the jeans and do that. I don't think it's going to take too long, honestly. Like this, I think it'll go way faster if you have a rotary cutter, and I do, but my rotary cutter, the blades need to be replaced, so I'm just going to use my fabric scissors to do it. But it's like a mindless kind of activity to do while you're doing something else like watching TV or YouTube, so I think it's gonna be great. I'm really excited. This looks really cool, so I will report back once I've made some progress. Whew. Just wanted to share a little bit of progress update on my jean yarn adventure. I posted a work in progress little sneak peek on Instagram, and then somebody commented crochet, and I am afraid of their mind. Crochet with jorts is what's happening. Anyways, I got kind of far. For me, this is decent progress. There's a couple of things. This is really, really, really hard on your hands. So you really have to like really stab it in there to get some grip and traction. This, I think I made the right choice buying the more ergonomic, grippy crochet hook, because the other, just like, you know, like the metal Susan Bates one or whatever, I think that would have hurt my hands, my fingies. So I'm glad I did that. And this, I just joined the new yarn, and I got this far using one leg, well, half leg of the legs that I cut off my jeans to make shorts. Oh, I'm wearing those shorts today now, actually. Can you see that? Here. Yeah, see? The idea is that I will kind of make a gradient. So after I finish, this is the darkest denim that I have. After I'm finished with this denim, I will use the shorts, the jorts, shall we say, that are a little bit lighter than the pant legs. So you can see it's a little lighter. I will use this, and then after that I will use the lightest pair of jeans that I have for the top section of the bag. For the straps, I will also do the same, where I, well, kind of reverse it, where it's like light to dark, so that it makes this like gradient effect. For the straps, I'm wondering, this is pretty thick right now. The fabric that it's creating is pretty thick. That's like about a half an inch or so. It feels very sturdy though, so that's nice, but it is very thick. So I wonder if for the straps, I don't really want it to be too puffy sitting on my shoulders. I wonder if I can find a way to braid the yarn, the strips, into like a flatter fabric. I will have to look into that a little bit. I'm really bad at braiding too, by the way. So we'll definitely need a tutorial. The size ended up turning out a little bit bigger than what I had originally planned. The width is a little bigger. The final count that I ended up doing is 10 stitches and 3 rows. I don't actually know if that's blasphemous to do an uneven number of rows for the bag bottom, but I did that. So it's 3 rows, and then so that should be 26 all around the bag. And then I will just continue working until it gets about yay tall. Do I want to put in a zipper, or do I just want to put in like a drawstring bag and then have it like sewn to the inside of the bag loosely? I don't know, things to think about, but I definitely do want to add a lining, I think, because I don't want anything falling through. If you want a less dense fabric, definitely consider cutting this into 1/4 of an inch or like a centimeter, rather than this, which is like half an inch to closer to an inch, honestly, in some lengths. It's not a science, because I'm lazy. That's the update. A lot of progress has been made. I think this looks pretty sick, and I'm really excited because I think the gradient turned out as well as I thought it would happen. You can kind of tell that this is going from dark to light, and then with the strap as well, it's going dark to light, or light to dark. I think I'm about like halfway through the strap. I checked the length of it, kind of like cobbled together to see if this is a good length or not, and I think I just need to do double the amount of the strap, and then I should be done. And I definitely have enough jean material, and I think I'm going to have a little bit left over, so I gotta figure out what to do with that. Maybe I can try knitting it, or maybe I can make like a little accessory that goes with the bag. I was looking at this bag, and then yesterday I was just kind of thinking, I feel like the other side of my bag usually looks better, like the wrong side looks better than the right side. And then I kind of got to thinking, like, is there a wrong side and a right side to crochet? And I googled it. There is a wrong side and a right side. I was like yesterday years old when I found that out, so that was a bit of a shocker. So I flipped the bag inside out, and now it's the right side. I have to go back and look at all my different crochet items to see if I've been just flipping my crochet inside out this whole time. That would be kind of embarrassing, but this is why I do a lot more knitting than crochet, because I don't know anything about crochet. Today I will finish the strap, which the strap is, I kind of went back and forth on what to do with it, but ultimately I wanted to keep that crochet shape. So I decided to just do, this is single crochet, just back and forth, and this is 2 stitches. So 2 stitches wide, just back and forth and back and forth. This is the size of needle that I was, or hook that I was using for the body, and this is what I'm using for the strap. This is too small. I have a 12mm one somewhere, but I couldn't find it. So, or sorry, I had a 8mm, I think, crochet hook somewhere, but I couldn't find it. So this is like the largest one I have that's not that size, and this is a 6 and this is, I think, like a 16. So do with that information what you will. To make the strap a little bit more flexible and thinner, I took the yarn, or shall we say yarn, and trimmed it down to be a thinner size. This is, I don't know what this is in inches. Let me measure it. Oh, this is it. This is half an inch, but so maybe I was knitting with an inch this entire time. But anyways, just so that it's a little bit thinner and easier to work with for this size. And that's what I've been doing. It's not rocket science and it kind of doesn't look that great, but if you look at it from afar, closure, I think I will do a zipper. I wanted to use this one because it has gold. The metal is gold, but this is just a little bit too short. So unfortunately, I do think I have to use a different zipper that I have, which I have this one, which is, I don't even know where I took this from. I was going to repurpose the zipper from the jeans that I deboned, but they are too short. The fly is shorter because all of them are relics of a past and they're all like low rise. Which is why I was able to get them in the first place, because none of these girly pops wanted to take the low rise jeans home. And I understand. I haven't worn low rise jeans since I was a fetus, so I understand. The crochet portion is finished. I still don't think this is long enough for it to be a crossbody, even at the longest length, but I think that's okay. I found this striped fabric. This is from an IKEA bedsheet, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to use this to make the lining. This is why I like wovens. I've sewed in the zip, but you want to see something truly horrifying? Ooh, ooh. My hand sewing skills are decidedly horrible, but this doesn't go under the machine, so I just had to hand stitch it. But that's okay, it'll get covered up. For these bags, I always sew the zipper in first to the outside of the bag, and then I hand kind of whip stitch the lining in, but I don't know if that's something that you're supposed to do. That's just how I do it. So I'm done with the bag, and I just wanted to give a quick recap of the experience. My fingers hurt after all of this, and my arms also hurt as well. I got a bit of an arm workout during the whole process. However, I would say I overall am really super pleased with the final outcome. Well, I wouldn't say it looks store-bought or anything. Definitely looks handmade, but that's part of the charm, the rusticness of it. And I am really glad that I got to use up pretty much most of the jeans that I had for this particular project. So I would say it was a good recycling, upcycling project. I'm also like glad that I was able to use pretty much everything that I had at home and not really buy anything new. This is a sign to keep all those, you know, metal bits from bags that you disassemble, and buttons and zippers and all that kind of good stuff. This zipper pull too, I disassembled a necklace that I don't wear anymore into this zipper pull, and then it just has like a lobster claw on the other end so that it could be clipped on to things. So that's another good repurposing of something that I already have. It's pretty roomy. Like I'm sure I could shove in a very light sock knitting project in here, as well as my, you know, the essentials, the wallet keys, phone. That definitely fits in here. So don't get bamboozled by those micro bags that they sell online. Make your own bag. Make your own bag out of things that you have at home, and maybe you could even make it big enough that you would fit a phone and not have to put that in your non-existent pocket. Let me know if you give this project a try. I'd love to see your results. You can tag me on Instagram or leave a comment down below. My Instagram is at future.fiber, so follow me over there if you want to see more behind the scenes, sneak peek of projects, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Stay cool, everybody. Goodbye.